All right. You should be straight. You should be straight. Straight. Should be straight. So So to me, the funniest dude on the internet.
Are we going? Are we live?
I mean, we live. We just rocking. We gonna start off with the top 5 later on, but I'm just letting you know. I think it's Drewski. To me, it's Drewski. That guy.
You think Drewski is the player on Instagram?
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely is the most. He's like the Kevin Hart of Instagram. Right. But is Kevin Hart the best comedian?
Well, this is the thing, bro, because Drewski just went on tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, obviously, I hope he was in Richmond, and the guys are like, man, like that jump was mid, blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, what did you expect? Like, internet funny is not the same thing as stand up funny, but that's just are 2 different things, especially on his first tour. No way. But like, as far as just being like, man, funny for social media, for the internet, I think he's just because there have been I don't know if there's anybody that's been as good at leveraging stardom on the internet as Drewski has, or to stardom in other things, but I definitely think there have been bigger guys than him. Like, I
don't think there's been anyone that's been bigger than him in terms of that in that space.
Ha Davis got pretty big.
Ha Davis got funnier than Drewski.
But he's not
bigger than Drewski.
I'm talking about strictly from a profile interaction standpoint. In terms of the people that go to his profile, that follow his profile, like, do all this stuff. Like, he's definitely made it, like, as far as his connections with Drake and all that other stuff set aside. Like, had it in a Davis had it in a bit of a chokehold like 5 years ago. Desi Banks had it now.
Desi Banks is crazy. So Country Wayne. What about Country Wayne?
Country Wayne had that jump for a long time. DC Young Fly had that jump for a long time. I think Drewski, like you said, like Kevin Hart, has just like
on the business side.
On the business side, just went to a whole nother level.
Yeah, no, you can't debate that. You can't debate that. I mean, you see him doing so many different things. It's clear that he has a much more robust.
But it's not even like he does more skits than those guys do. You see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't do more than Ha Davis does. Ha Davis every day.
Yeah.
Desi Banks every week.
Yeah. Drewski is in a better situation for whatever reason. I don't know how comedy works. Like, I don't know if like they're in deals or they just got managers or whatever the case might be. But his business acumen, his current business, his career is at a different stage than those guys. It just is. Like, how do you want to put it? Whether he's bigger, whether he's got more stuff going on, whether he's manager, he's got. I don't know comedians sign deals. I don't know how that works, but his level is different. Now you talk about Aha Davis, Desi Banks, Country Wayne. Those guys are on a level business wise. Like, it's in terms of what we can see. It doesn't seem like their bag is the same. That's just it. If we just want to make it as simple as that, it doesn't look like their bag is the same as his. Now, but I tell you whose bag is probably the same. And if it wasn't 30 of them niggas, it would be more.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, who's actually the best on the internet is RDC. I don't give a shit about nothing. Yeah. Them niggas are the best.
Yeah.
By far the most talented. It's not even close. Not even close. And it's not. I guess you have to say Mark. I don't know. You got Desmond. You got Leland and all the rest of them niggas. But as far as like that, he's comedy is just a part of what he does. He's interested in film. Like he's interested in that whole space of just creating visuals. Like he's trying to be a true like artist, and he's funny as shit in the process. And his stuff. Outside of like if you take the nerdy stuff out like that I'm into, like the anime and the video games, take that out. And you just do like sports and because a lot of people don't even know him for his like anime and video game stuff.
Yeah.
I think the LeBron stuff is the stuff that really got him going.
Yeah, that's
in terms of I can't say that it really got him going. That's
definitely the stuff that got him
to that level. Right? Because he and his team they had tens of millions of views on videos 10 years ago. Which is crazy. Like back in 2013, 2014, he put out what was it? I think it might have been like either Anime House or you might like anime too much if you whatever the case might be. And that video had like millions of views. Like them dudes been rocking for a long time, and Mark is obviously like the freaking CEO of the whole thing. Yeah, they that's in my opinion the most impressive, and I think they're going to be the most successful over time.
But the thing is this, right? Like, if you have a Drewski, if you have a Desi, if you have a Ha-Ha, it's really easy to integrate that one person into other stuff. Like, if they're in a video, or if they make a cameo in a movie, or if they have an advertisement, like. But at some point, and RDC is doing the advertisement thing. They're doing the publicity thing. They have the convention. Like they have different stuff.
They stream on Twitch.
Stream on Twitch, House of Highlights, stuff like that. But like at some point, like if they really want to get to where you're talking about, or at least as far as these individual acts will get, they have to like either Mark will just have to go solo, so to speak, or like they're going to have to kind of break a mold in a way and just doing this whole collective thing, like maybe get a TV show or something like that.
I think that's the route. I think the route they're trying to go is even a completely different route than. But they're not in the comedy space. Their shit is just fun. But there's a difference between being a comedian and being funny. Like Martin Lawrence was a comedian. Will Smith is fun. You see what I'm saying? Like in a lot of the shit, Will Smith is fun. Martin Lawrence, he was a comedian. Eddie Murphy was a comedian. Like those guys are comedians. Will Smith is not a comedian. He's just fun. Like if I had to compare, at least he's funny in his movies. I don't know.
But what are we talking about?
I'm talking about the marketing. They have you like do you understand like have you how much do you know about their catalog in terms of like the stuff like their content?
In terms of their YouTube content or the
YouTube content.
I know the names of most of the different franchises that they do. Or at least I'm familiar with.
They produced entire now quality is very low budget. But I think their goal is to get a budget and make TV shows, animes, movies, Ryan Coogler type shit. Like he's not trying to be a stand-up comedian. Like he's trying to produce film. However that he's trying to produce cinema. Like that's his goal. He wants to be a director, producer. And I'm telling you right now, with him being 29.
He's 29.
He's 29.
Wow.
He's my age. Well, he's a year younger.
I don't know why I thought those guys were like 24, 25.
They were 5 years ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You gotta think they've been. I'm almost positive. He's like he himself is like a year younger. But you gotta think of the industry here. Them niggas ain't playing football. It's not like they
Yeah, I mean,
Super Bowl next year.
I'm just talking from a standpoint of like the folks that they're like kind of. I won't say the people that they're. Social media, it seems, is mostly like hip hop, like the people that are popping, the biggest people are appealing to younger people, right? And I guess like especially when you think about the social media stars that have grown on social media, they usually reach their stardom before they get to around your age. But historically, yes, comedy is a late blooming thing. Or even acting, even cinema is a
yeah, no,
it's hard to get into. Period.
That's the thing. Another thing though is like they are so blessed because they're not their content, but their subject matter is so broad, and it's all entertainment. It's a bunch of different sectors of like you have individuals that like sports. People that like sports are completely different than people that like anime. Unless you're a person that likes sports and anime, right? Which
there are a few. There are more intersections than you may think.
What?
There are definitely a few. There are more intersections than you may think.
No, and it is. My point being is like they're like. I would say that they're not so much dependent on them because they have such a huge propeller. Follow me. We're going on a ride. Nick Wright.
Okay.
He doesn't have to come up with content. He just talks about sports.
Right.
And that shit happens every day.
Right.
And it happens when he doesn't have to do anything to make it happen. All he does is inflect his opinion and his study and his whatever it is. Not like he has to come up with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he don't have to come up with the facts of Patrick Mahomes is who he is, or LeBron, or whatever the case might be. Same thing with them. Like, a lot of they have these things called back and forth, so they just talk about what happened in the last episode, or whatever the case might be. They go into that space. When new video games come out, they do reviews. Like they branched it out a lot. There's certain things like the LeBron shit. They were just going, and that was genius because they was literally just going off of this like hours after a game would happen. They would just imagine the most egregious interaction between LeBron and his teammates. Like that, but they have the subject matter of the game that actually happened. Like JR shit, that was gold. Like whatever happens in real life, they can just make a spin. It's almost all they do is make spin-offs of what's going on in the world. So it's not like they're like Drewski and HaHa Davis and all of them, where they are having to generate. Now, there are situations where it's like, okay, certain things that are common to us, like, oh, how you look when your girl sees her ex in the club. That's, but you got to think about that specific instance, as opposed to, oh, LeBron just won a championship, let's do a video about that. You know what I mean? And so, I just, those guys, like 10 years ago, they were there. 10 years from now, I can see them being like, him at least. Very successful, making a lot of money in a lot of different ways.
Okay, all right. So we're going to talk a little bit about, since we've already spent like 10 minutes talking about that, Arnez McDaniel, great friend of mine, my brother, someone I look up to a lot. We're going to talk a little bit about a few things. We're just going to go off the dome with this, but I want to talk to you about the MVP race in the NBA for a little bit. But to start off we start off every episode with a top five. So it's going to be our top five MVP, NBA MVP, NFL MVP, Finals MVP, Super Bowl MVP, League MVP, whatever. All of mine are League MVPs, and it's my show, so I go first. My number 5 MVP season that I myself have seen. These are my top 5 favorite ones. These aren't the best ones that I think. These aren't the best ones of all time. These are the ones that it was for me most impressive and most special to see happen. Number 5 is Curry 2016, Steph Curry 2016. His second of 2 straight, breaks his own record for threes in a season that he set the year before, I believe. And I think, was I with you when we watched the OKC game? Do you remember that?
When they came back?
The OKC game where he pulls up from like half court with 2 seconds left.
Oh, that was a regular season game.
That was a regular season game.
That was a regular season game, and I was at school.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure? I could have sworn I watched that with you. Okay.
No, I'm not saying you didn't. I didn't see. I'm not saying you didn't. But I know I was at school when it happened.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was in like May or April. Like I'm pretty sure it was like, or maybe like March. So I wasn't.
never came home. So
yeah, I wasn't with you. But anyway, that game he breaks the record for threes in a game. I think with 13. That's since been broken already by Clay, I think, a couple times, maybe Zach LaVine once. But that was just an unbelievable thing to see. I don't know who I talked to about. I think I talked to Jay about this, our brother Jay. So I think the thing about Magic Johnson is point guard is different, right, than any other position when we're talking about all-time teams or all-time players, because it's in essence traditionally the quarterback of the basketball team, like schematically, but in terms of like the way we talk about it rhetorically, they're like they at least become secondary to the scorer, the athlete, unless of course they're the best player on the team. Right, and I think the reason why Magic Johnson has been able to stand the test of time as the best guy ever at that position is in succession, or in addition to the fact that his like resume is just so extensive and impressive and amazing. But he had something that we could look at and say nobody's done that better than him, and that was run the fast break, pass the ball, facilitate the offense, be unselfish, on top of his charisma, right? And you can't necessarily say that about Isaiah Thomas. You can look at Isaiah Thomas, you can say, he does that very well, but he may only do that a little bit better than a Chris Paul or something like that. And guys like these athletic guys like Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Derrick Rose, they just aren't good enough long enough to get to where those guys are. The thing about Steph Curry and why I believe that he will end up, I don't say I would believe it, but he has a chance, a legitimate chance, a good chance to end up being remembered as the greatest point guard of all time, is because he may have the single most impressive basketball skill ever. Shooting that 3-point shot there is no one thing, including Kareem's skyhook, including Shaq's physicality, including Kobe Bryant's tough shot making, that is more impressive and valuable than Steph Curry's 3-point shot. And that was just the icing on the cake for everything. That 2016
the key component of that is the value in it.
Yes, absolutely. That's a big part. And the fact that you can, I think he's shooting now, or at least in the last couple of months or something like 50% from the 3-point line, and he shoots 11 threes a game. So you're talking about 15 points. Like it's. Can you imagine? Like, I think somebody tweeted this yesterday. For me, I would always say like Shaq, best player ever, like guy you would want. Like any player, everybody's like, oh, he carried Kobe. Shaq would probably carry any wing player ever on a championship team, because you would probably want to run the offense through Shaq. And if you run the offense through Shaq, then he's going to put up MVP numbers. But if somebody was like prime Shaq or prime Steph, like prime Steph, imagine passing it to a teammate knowing at the 3-point line and knowing he's going to make it more times rather than not. Like that's really, really impressive. That's really, really valuable. All right, number 4 for me
I'm taking Pop Shaq in that situation, though, just to say.
Sure. But, 303, greater than sign to. But that's another conversation. 4 for me is Russell Westbrook. And I think this was in 2017, the year after. And I think this is a narrative thing more than anything else. This was just a media thing. Does he deserve the MVP? Kevin Durant is gone. He's been getting – a lot of people forget the year before, a couple of years before, he had like a whole bunch of triple-doubles in like the last month or so of the season. And like when and tried to get this Thunder into the playoffs. And that's when the triple-double stuff really started to catch some fire. Mm-hmm. And the stuff that he was doing that season with that team in Oklahoma City, it was absolutely MVP worthy. And like I said, the media narrative around it was just so interesting. Similar to what we're going through right now. Not exactly the same thing, but how the fact that Russell Westbrook, the triple-double used to be a really big, like if you got a triple-double, I think Kobe had something like maybe 9 triple-doubles in his career or something like that.
No,
like if you got look, I don't think he has that many at all. But I think he has something like 9, bro. But anyway, either way, if Rajon Rondo had a 10, 10, and 10, this was like a huge thing for Rajon. Like that was Rajon Rondo's thing. Like the thing that when LeBron James had like a 50-point, 10 rebound, 8 assist game, or 10 assist, 8 rebound game. Like, if he would have got a 50-point triple-double, that would have been, the greatest thing ever. And, of course, the spacing, the game, all these different things have changed those things around. But the fact that Russell Westbrook was able to average a triple-double for the season while leading the league in scoring, that's the thing. The people that have gotten close, like Steve Nash, Jokic this year, they do it around like 20, if so, 20 points a game. He led the league in scoring, had over 30 points per game.
Kobe had 21, by the way.
21? Okay.
So, in the grand scheme of things, 9 is actually not that far from 21 when you think about how many Russ and all them had.
Okay. I think Russ probably had like 21 in April or something. 9 was definitely a bit off. But either way, and the thing is, he averaged a triple-double for 2 years after that, which is unbelievable.
And people just
absolutely unbelievable. Huh?
And people just don't talk about it. Like, it's just like, he sucks. Like
nobody did that. That wasn't a thing. That like he deserved the MVP because nobody thought that. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Russ averaging that triple-double was just about as unfathomable as somebody scoring 100 points today.
It's more.
Maybe it's more. But if someone scored 100 points, they would probably look. The people in 2001 probably be like, "What's going to happen first? Somebody scoring 100 points or somebody averaging triple-double?"
So do you think Russ in his prime, if he tried, could he score 100 points?
If he tried, I don't know. Probably not.
You don't think so?
Probably not. I feel like 100 points is one of those things that
What's his career
tried to do. I think it's just one of those things that just like you're Kobe, you're Dame, you're somebody these high volume scores, or even like a LeBron or somebody that just gets in a stupid.
What's Russ's career high?
Russ's career high, I think, is 50-something. I think it's 50-something. That wasn't the year. That wasn't the year he had 20, 20, and 20, which is a whole other thing.
He did that for Nips, didn't he?
Yeah, he did that for Nips, so that was in 2019. Number 3 for me, we talk about this all the time, Cam Newton, 2015. I won't belabor it, and, I talk about Cam on this podcast a lot, but whenever he officially retires, I'm going to do a whole episode dedicated to kind of like a continuation of my blog post. The craziest thing about this year, as great as this year was, very, very good year. 35 touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns, led the league in passing touchdowns. My least favorite thing is when people say that this was Cam's one good year. It was a great year, and if you want to say it was an outlier year, I won't necessarily debate you on that. But he had other good years. The couple of years before this was good, and the couple of years after this was good as well. But this year was, the fact that he had this year in the NFL and his Heisman year in college, it's just unreal. It's just unreal, and even the highlights don't do it justice. His leading wide receiver was Ted Ginn Jr. His leading tight end was obviously Greg Olsen. The team was very good, but there were a lot of close games in that year that you can look back, and a lot of 300-plus yard passing games, 5-plus touchdown games, 4-plus touchdown games. Not even going. Think about the quarterbacks that he beat during that regular season. This year had absolutely everything that you could need in an MVP year to absolutely deserve it. Would have capped, in my opinion, the best 5 years anybody has ever had as a football player if he had won that Super Bowl.
Jeez.
But either way, just the time of my life watching that stuff unfold. But yeah, number two for me, a little more, just a little bit more impressive to me to watch was Peyton Manning's year in 2013. I remember somebody saying the Broncos that year. If the Broncos, once you play the Broncos, pencil them in for 35 points. That I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
For you to be penciled in, for you to know you have to score 35 points to beat this team. You have to score at least 36 points to beat this team. That is unreal.
Spectacular.
Unreal. I had Peyton Manning on my fantasy team. That was the first fantasy team I ever played with. He's almost single-handedly won it. What a great team. Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker. I don't think Emmanuel Sanders was there quite yet. But Julius Thomas had the tight end.
Yeah.
Wes Welker. That offense was unbelievable. Set the record for passing yards, passing touchdowns with 55, I think. And this was a couple of years after Peyton Manning was believed to be finished as a quarterback. Runs through the AFC, gets to the Super Bowl and get crushed, absolutely crushed by the Seahawks. But
which is crazy.
Pencils Peyton Manning, and the fact that Peyton Manning broke that record twice. Broke the passing touchdown record twice.
I don't think we talk about that. It's weird because back then we did. We talked about Peyton. I think before it was literally before Peyton retired. There were a lot of people that had him as the best quarterback ever. What? More than people were willing. Yes, Tom Brady was Tom Brady, but it was always that Peyton Manning is the purest quarterback ever. It just was, right? Because regular season, season, if you want to say around 2009, 2010, you see what I'm saying? Those years, 2011, even though Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, I feel a lot of people that be like, I don't give a crap how many Super Bowls Tom Brady wins. He's not there to Peyton. And I was kind of one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, because you just couldn't prove to me that on any given day with any given team. Now, I think over time, just as much as I believe, you know what, it's Tom Brady, it's Peyton Manning, it's equal, it's da-da-da. I believe that Tom Brady is a better quarterback now. Mm-hmm. because there's just no way you should be able to play for that long, be that good, and have that much success. I just think it's just not even a question at this point. But in that span, Peyton Manning played for how long?
Drafted in 98, left after the 15 year.
Whatever that is, right?
14, 15 seasons.
Yeah, man. And I don't know if he ever was not a Pro Bowl.
17 seasons, 18 seasons.
Yeah,
17
yeah.
seasons.
He probably got 17 Pro Bowls, or at least 15, 16, like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, in this thing, the stats, the yards, 48 touchdowns he broke. That was back in 2006.
I want to say that was 3 or 4.
I think it was 6.
3 or 4. He won the Super Bowl in 2006. I want to say he broke the record in 3 or 4. But yeah.
Anyway, and then breaking again was 55.
Yes, 10 years.
And that's still the record. Someone break that.
The record is still 55. Yep.
So Patrick Mahomes didn't break it.
No, Patrick has only had.
Did he get close?
He had 50 as rookie. His first year as a starter.
That is crazy. But yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
No, you sure? No, you're all right. Yeah, I mean, the quarterback thing is tough, right? Because, like, I think Peyton Manning, wherever Tim Duncan is on your list of NBA players, that's probably around where Peyton Manning should be on your NFL players.
Disagree.
In terms of
NFL players?
In terms of NFL players, just players. Now, a lot of people think Tim Duncan is top 5. But there's no denying he's top 10. There's no denying he's top 10.
Tim Duncan's not
players. Tim Duncan?
No.
I'm talking about the Tim Duncan that played for the Spurs.
I am as well.
Anyway.
He ain't my top 10.
Anyway. Yes. So,
maybe he is. I don't know. Because I got that on my list of things I want to talk about. I think I've
No, Tim Duncan's an unequivocal top 10 player of all time. But anyway, Peyton Manning 2013. And number 1, Adrian Peterson 2012.
That shit was crazy.
This junk was, I wish I could like explain how a running back led an NFL team to a playoff berth. Like when their quarterback was Christian Ponder. Like and the fact that, like, you talked about this before, like Adrian Peterson, he tore his ACL the year before, and this is like year 8. You see,
you're not even supposed to be in the league no more.
Like, you're supposed to be out of there. Like, to put it in perspective, Barry Sanders retires in year 9. See what I'm saying? So he runs for 2,000 yards on a team with the second best player is a Percy Harvin that probably played 5 games. And
what year is that?
2012.
I think Percy played a good amount that year.
Maybe he did. But, like, a good amount that year is maybe, 10?
Is that his rookie? No.
Percy Harvin? Either way, they go 10, and they don't go to the playoffs on no 8-8. They go 10-6 in the NFC North with the Packers and the Bears who were still good.
Yeah, that's Jay Cutler.
Like, in the NFC, like, and Adrian, every time we gonna give it to AP. Like, this junk was unreal to watch unfold. Unreal to watch unfold. I think he came just a little, like maybe like 70-something yards away from Eric Dickerson's all-time record. Just
did he not break it?
He didn't break it. He did not break the record.
What? So what was that picture of him on his knees and all that stuff? Is that not him breaking the record?
Nah, he used to do that every time he scored.
I thought he broke the record. Damn.
Nah, he used to do that every time he scored. But what's the one game I remember? I remember his run against the Rams where he just creases it and beats everybody. Obviously, everybody remembers the run against the Packers. It was unreal, and that might be his second best season. But anyway, 5 through 1. Curry 16, Russ 17, Cam 15, Peyton 13, and AP 12. What about you?
All right, so real quick. Top five for me. I have Cam at 5 in the NFL in his MVP year. We talked about it already. If you talk about what a quarterback's supposed to do in the air, he did everything better than anybody that year. I think his completion percentage was a little bit under 60, which obviously isn't great comparatively. But you talk about 35 tubs. You know what I mean? You talk about almost 4,000 yards. When you consider he had almost 1,000 yards rushing, and then 10 touchdowns rushing, and then we never. I mean, you at least I don't think you. Maybe you did a little bit. I don't think you talked about this. Just the amount of talent was on that team. Greg Olsen being the most consistent receiver. Ted Ginn having career year that year. Receive as a receiver. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he's ever scored 10 touchdowns in his career that year.
Heck no. 10 touchdowns isn't even
talk about Philly Brown, who I've never heard Philly Brown be a productive receiver outside of his year with Carolina, 2-3 years with Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin wasn't there. Who outside of Carolina basically didn't play. Outside Cam Newton, basically didn't play. Jericho Cottrell, who was a good guy for the Jets for a while.
But by that time,
come on, man. Like, let's be serious. That defense was top 3 in the league, top 2 in the league, probably. Actually, I think literally top 2 in the league. I think Seattle was number 1, or maybe San Francisco. I think it was Seattle was number 1. But Carolina was number 2. In reality, I think they were number 1. No. The Broncos were number 1. The Broncos are number 1 defense. Either way, just phenomenal. And number 4, hopefully I can count this. I don't know if I can. I don't count it anyway. Cam's Heisman year.
Okay.
Right? His year at Auburn. If you ask me, quite literally, the most impressive single college football season ever.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Unbelievable. Not a single guy off that roster. Not just maybe the defense. The defense definitely had. What's my boy name? That played D tackle.
Nick Fairley.
He was a stud. I don't know about the other people on the defense well. But the offense, there was not a single player. Not a single player. Not one. And this guy ran through the SEC, literally won a national championship versus a guy. Was Marcus Mariota starting for Oregon?
No, I think it was one of those black guys that
was it? No.
Who was it? It wasn't Josh Johnson. It wasn't Josh Johnson. It was one of those black guys that were number 1.
Okay. Either way, it was nice. A buddy of mine, James Gales, playing for that Oregon team.
Deontay Thomas, Chip Kelly, everybody,
Yeah, that was nice. Number 3, Reggie Bush's Heisman year. Cam Newton had the single greatest college football season, but Reggie Bush, to me, epitomizes everything that I love about football. Everything that made me feel like I wanted to play football. Like Reggie Bush, USC Trojans. To this day, I can't wait. I'm be honest with you. I love Carolina football. I grew up loving Miami football. Devin Hester is my favorite NFL player of all time. Outside Cam, probably. And Mike Big. But USC football is what made me love football. I grew up on Miami football because when I was like young, 2000, 2001, 2002, Miami was like crazy. But USC football at that point, it was. I love Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, in my opinion, top 5 football coach ever at any level. You can disagree, agree, I don't really care. My point being is very few coaches have success at the college level and the NFL level. Just doesn't happen. Jimmy Johnson, he did. To me, I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah, sure.
If you have success here, you have success there, I think you're better than the guy who's ultra successful. Now, Nick Saban, how can he not be considered one of the best football coaches ever?
Yeah, sure.
Outside of the fact that he absolutely suffered in the NFL. Right? Now, you can't count that against him because if Coach K goes to the Lakers and sucks, he's still one of the greatest basketball coaches ever. But to me, it says something about a guy and go at a big time college football program and then go to a relatively inept NFL franchise. I mean, they've been they had some success, but that'd be like someone at this point taking the Panthers to win the Super Bowl and going to another. Like, to me, that would be the best coach. Like, it doesn't matter, even though we've been to 2. Like, we still haven't won. So, Pete Carroll, that whole squad, that just, Reggie Bush's year there, it epitomizes everything I love about football. Him just being spectacular, just the concept, what he did, being an athlete, the expectation around being an athlete, the concept of him being on the field all the time. You know, and I'll never forget that game he had against Fresno State. He had close to 600 all-purpose yards in one game. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Reggie Bush was, I guess I said 3. I don't know if I have it 2. I've been thinking. I don't know if I have it 2, but my favorite all-time is Dwayne Wade's finals performance in 2006. To this day, I still think it's no less than top 3 finals performance all time. I think the only 2 finals performances that I think are more impressive. I didn't say better, I didn't say best, I didn't say highest graded. Impressive. I think LeBron's 16. I think Giannis's at 19 are every bit as impressive. From a totality standpoint, I think from a prowess, like Giannis is just impressive from like a marveling, damn, what the fuck? Like, you dropped 50 points in a game 6 closing. What was that? It was ridiculous, right? And LeBron did what LeBron does, come back from down 3-1. Right, yeah. And just in that fashion versus that team, that's just the most dramatic shit that's happened in sports, in my opinion. But Dwayne Wade being 24 years old, going against a team, well, a lot of people don't realize the Dallas Mavericks in 2006 were the first to challenge the record for the Chicago Bulls, 72 wins. I think they won 65 plus games that year. And I don't know, I'm not going to say their team was like the Warriors and that, but their record, I got to check and see what it was. But I remember the Dallas Mavericks were that team, like they were just thought everybody and everything. And they were Dallas.
Let me ask you this. I heard this. After Steve Nash left, do you know the only All-Star that Dirk Nowitzki ever played with after Steve Nash left?
Jason Kidd.
Nope.
After Steve Nash left? Sean Marion?
Yes. Nope.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Those are 2 All-Stars. Jason Terry? I don't know.
They were not All-Stars when they were with Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, you mean like that they were an All-Star while he was there?
Yeah.
When did he retire? When did Dirk retire?
He retired in 2019, I think.
He did retire 7 years later. Luka? No, I'm joking.
This is kind of embarrassing because I forgot his name, but he was somebody. I think his name was Jalen something, but the fact that they went to two. This is just a Dirk Nowitzki shout out, but the fact that they went to two finals in the West with Kobe, Durant, all them boys, just goes to show you what caliber player Dirk Nowitzki, what caliber franchise the Dallas Mavericks were at that time. But continue.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both of those things. Dirk Nowitzki is crazy. The Dallas Mavericks are a ridiculously good franchise. You know, Mark Cuban's a great owner. But even still, that was an incredible point. That was it's one of those few, not few. But it's a situation where you had two eventual top 15 players all time going up against each other. Top 20, whatever you want to say, right? No less than top 20. All time players going up against each other. Some would say at their peaks, both at their peaks. Right? I think Dwayne Wade became a better player after that year, but he had not experienced higher success individually in that year that he did. That's my number one. I don't know. I just have four.
No, I feel it. That's no problem. So Cam, MVP, Cam Heisman, Reggie Bush Heisman, D Wade Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Speaking of MVPs, I don't know how much you've been paying attention to the NBA or the conversation around the NBA MVP, but as it stands now, it's a 3-man race. The Joker, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid. And this MVP race has garnered a lot of attention. Have you seen kind of like the conversation going on?
Yeah, no, I pay attention mostly to the negative conversation, but
it's easier too. Sure.
Considering what the MVP in my opinion has mostly been 95% of the time. It's the most impressive player on the most successful team. Usually. And that year technically it's Giannis. But from what sentiments have expressed, right now the technically like NBA, I think you know how to do a list or whatever it is. Right now, what you call it? Freaking his name. Not the Joker, but
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid is leading.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's leading right now. After this is like a couple days old type situation. I would assume the Joker is second place. I think they made a skid, like a couple games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Joker situation is interesting. There was this whole thing last week between Kendrick Perkins and J.J. Redick about the whole race thing. And I think Kendrick Perkins is right and wrong in this because he's wrong to suggest that he's not saying shit is racist. That's what he's saying. I'm not saying he's wrong in saying that, but why would he be like, I'm not saying that they're racist. Like, what else could you possibly be saying? You see what I'm saying? Well, just 1 second. So it's like, the crazy thing, I'm not saying that he's wrong in saying that, but why won't he stand on that aspect? Outside the fact that he's not trying to call J.J. Redick racist, the NBA racist, like whatever the case might be. And it's not. Now, I've heard, who was I listening to? I guess it was you or Nick Wright, all those other people that were saying, it can be about race, but not necessarily racist. And that's a very interesting thing. It's one of those things because it is 100% a regular season award but we have seen in at least in recent years that it is apparent that people have taken the postseason. Like there's no other way. I can't remember the exact example, but there was a specific person or a specific situation where like the postseason clearly played a role in how the MVP was selected. I guess that person may have lost like badly in the first round. Can you remember what I'm talking about?
It was probably Giannis. So Giannis won 2 straight in 18 and 19, and in 2019 in the bubble, I think he got either swept in the second round or beat 4-1 in the first round. But it was by the Heat, and it was embarrassing. He was a 2-time MVP. And he did not win it the next year. They gave it to Jokic. Now, and quick point. This guy, Nick Wright, bro. This guy, he's just good. He's just good at what he does. He's extremely prepared. He's extremely confident. And he's extremely persuasive. And his thing about the race thing, right, is that like his premise is it can be about race. There's a difference between saying race has something to do with this and that this is a racist system, this is a racist choice, this is a racist thing. I think that this is a biased thing, right? Because his thing, this is what Nick says. At the mid level, at the average level, a white player, other average black players. That white player will be demoted a little bit. It will be almost seen as a less than average player because of the fact that he's white, even though his stats, his play, any of these type of things, these tangible things are able to suggest otherwise. And a great example that he gave was J.J. Redick. He was like, I'm sure J.J. has, across the span of his basketball career, has been doubted, discriminated, slighted, because of the fact that he's white, even though he's a very good NBA player. That's what happens at the average level. At the very top level, once you get past the stereotypes of being a white player and you get to be one of the very best players in the NBA, you may get a couple of bonus points. The fact that Larry Bird and presumably Nikola Jokic would be the only 3 straight MVPs in the NBA since Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain and stuff. I had always thought about Larry Bird winning 3 straight MVPs, but I was just like, dang, that man Larry Bird just must have been a bad boy. And I always have the joke of, if you're in a gym and it's a black gym, there's a whole bunch of black guys in there, and there's one white guy in there, he's probably a top 5 player in that gym. Because why else would a white player be in a black gym, right? Yeah. It's obviously biased and rooted in racial stereotypes. Is that racist? Whether you want to say it yes or not. But another thing that, everyone knows Nick is a historian, or at least I know that Nick is a historian NBA-wise. His thing is the MVP, in a way, the NBA MVP is the last great pro sports award, individual award. Yeah. The NFL MVP is just not as important as, say, a championship. Obviously, the NBA MVP is as important as a championship, but the disparity is a little bit bigger. You see everybody wins, NFL. Sean Alexander won an NFL MVP. Rich Gannon won an NFL MVP. A kicker won an NFL MVP 40 years ago. 50 years ago. Baseball, nobody cares. They give them to each team. You don't even know. The Heisman.
There's 2 MVPs in
baseball. The Heisman is obviously a college thing, and that's still a really big deal. But that's kind of in a place of itself. The NBA MVP, in a lot of ways, tells the story of the NBA in the last 50 years. Think about the guys that have won MVPs, let alone the guys that have won consecutive MVPs. I think it's only maybe off the top of my head, Giannis, LeBron, Steph, Jordan, Steve Nash is in there. like these are guys a part of the lineage. Jokic, right? And you kind of have to play a game of who doesn't belong here and who does. Like, if I'm yeah, right. Jokic and Steve Nash. So the thing that it becomes like I think about this with the MVP. I think about this with Pro Bowls in the NFL. I think about this with Hall of Fame. The way that people throw around the Hall of Fame. The individual awards, are they becoming less historically important as far as we are looking back to what we've done before in doing this, or this is a new thing, it's a new game, and we have to make the decisions for the way that we think that they should be made now. It's a new media. What's your take? What do you think?
I think the other MVPs, NFL, and some other things. You know, I would say Heisman is second behind NBA. NBA MVP is going to be one. Heisman is right behind it. Ahead of the NFL MVP. And I can make the argument that the Heisman is the same or better as the NBA MVP. I just would because it's college football. You know, college football is bigger than the NBA. In terms
just talk about pro sports.
Oh, pro sports. Anyway, my point being is with it. I'm gonna talk specifically about the NBA. They should make a description, an official description, an official mission statement for the MVP. What is it? You know what I mean? What does? But I understand why they don't, because I think what we don't realize is that the NBA, like the NBA and the NFL, and it's not the WWE. It's not. But it aims to do the same thing, which is create drama in sport. So who gets it? Why they get it? This person deserves it. This person got snubbed. All stars do the same thing, like Super Bowls, calls, like there's a reason these things happen. And sometimes they're like it's egregious. I can't potentially say it's weird because the only MVP the Joker ever deserved is probably this year. You see what I mean? Like it is low key egregious. Now Steve Nash MVPs, I would say that he actually probably did deserve those because if I'm not mistaken, the Suns were number one in the West both those years, and he's the reason why. Both times.
But the thing is, Steve Nash's best year was the year after those years, and he didn't get them, presumably because his team didn't perform.
What does his team do?
In 2007, I'm sure they were something comparable to what they were in 05.
2007. The Mavericks. No. 2007. The Lakers are probably pretty very high because that's the year they went to the finals. No. 2007 is the year that the Spurs went to the finals. I would like to see because in
2005 they were 44-28. They were first in the Pacific and second in the West. That was 05-06.
Yeah.
04-05 they were 62-20. They were first in the Pacific and first in the West. 07 they were 61-21. First in the Pacific and second in the West. So they were
They were comparable. You're
one
right.
or two.
You're right.
Either one or two.
It is strange. So my thing. So you think about what was that? The 05-06 year.
05-06 year was the second MVP year for Steve Nash.
So the only person you could have given it to would have been Dirk Nowitzki or Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But Steve Nash got it.
Yeah.
And so you got to think about. I think the Mavs are number one. You know what I mean? And so I think he goes by this. It's weird because of those advanced statistics, and what they use and what they do, and how they manipulate those things. But it's at that point, it's not contradictory, but it's like a little weird. At that 05-06 year, you would have been beating out another white player.
I think.
Because I'm almost positive the Mavs have the best record in 05-06.
06.
In the West, at least.
The Mavs are fourth in that 05-06, and they beat them, and they beat the Suns.
Yeah, because they were in the finals.
Yeah,
that's the year that D-Wade beat them. They had to win. They won 60-some games. Did they not?
The 05 Mavs. They won 60 games, and were good enough for fourth.
Huh?
The 05-06 Mavs won 60 games and were good enough for fourth in the West.
So the Mavs are fourth in the West.
They're fourth in the West.
In 05-06. Who was first?
Let me see. San Antonio Spurs. 63-19.
Yeah, I think it was very close that year. Because it looks like 3 games between fourth and first.
This is my question. Do you believe that at that point Steve Nash was the best player in the NBA?
Not even close.
Do you believe at any point in the last 3 years Nikola Jokic was the best player in the NBA? Do you think at any point in Larry Bird's 3 straight MVPs he was the best player in the NBA?
Probably so.
Probably.
Close.
But it's close.
But it's probably
close.
not 3.
Okay.
2 or 1.
Either way, if you're winning 3 straight, I feel like there should be no question. That's just me. If you're winning 3 straight MVPs, I feel like there should be. I feel like 3 straight MVPs.
So
2 straight
what
MVPs
year
for me.
Did Larry Bird win?
Either it doesn't. In my opinion,
it does matter. It does matter to me. It does matter because I need to see.
He wins MVP in 1981.
81.
Let me see. Oh, that's championship. He wins it most valuable player 84, 85, 86.
84, 85, 86. Yeah.
So Michael Jordan's first 3 years.
He's top 2.
Okay, he's top 2.
And to be honest, be fair. I honestly think that he and Magic Johnson, that's like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Like it flip flops. Like who's the best player? It just depends on.
There was never when in Peyton Manning's prime when he was winning. I guess the first 2 MVPs. There was no question about who was better, him or Tom Brady. Even though Tom Brady was winning championships, Peyton Manning, like you said,
no question in terms of who's better, Tom or Peyton.
Yes, there was no question.
There was 100% a question. What are you talking about?
Peyton Manning won his first MVP. And he won his first three, 2003, 2004, 2008. 2007 was Tom Brady's breakout quarterback statistical year, right? Now, it was the greatest year. That's the greatest year, but there was not a question about who the best quarterback in the NFL was.
Yes, there was, Travis. Because the question was this. Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning was far superior in the regular season, but Tom Brady was winning every single time in the postseason.
Yes, but I think we understood
that was the discrepancy. That was okay. That was the to suggest there's no question. I'm not saying that Peyton wasn't the best. To suggest that there was no question is ludicrous in my opinion because it is literally like you're saying, like literally Tom Brady was like it wasn't even like Peyton Manning would have a great season and he would lose to like someone else. He would lose to Tom Brady every year.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like it was 100% a question.
Let's set that aside, right? Is there a question of who's better all time, Magic Johnson or Larry Bird?
Not in the grand scope of things.
No, there is
not.
No, there is not.
History,
right?
In my opinion,
in terms of history,
you look back, probably talent-wise, it probably is.
Okay.
Yes.
I have not seen a list that has Magic Johnson, that has Larry Bird over Magic Johnson.
No.
But what I am saying is, if you win three straight, when Michael Jordan is winning his two straight MVPs, was there a question? No. When LeBron James winning his two straight, was there a question? No. When Giannis won his two straight, is there a question? No. My thing is, even when I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Magic won two straight, but do you know who the only person in NFL history to win three straight MVPs is?
Brett Favre.
And that guy was the best. And the thing is, he went to two Super Bowls during that time. He was the best. He was the guy. I feel like if you're winning three straight MVPs, there should not be a question. And even if there isn't a question, there shouldn't be a question on whether your team has the best chance to win a championship or at the top two chance to win a championship, top three chance to win a championship. I don't know what odds the Nuggets are to win a championship this year, but I guarantee they're not top three.
They have the same odds and according to Nick Wright as the Lakers.
Sure. That's totally plausible. For me, that is
accurate.
That is just it probably is accurate. For me, I think that three straight MVPs, if you want to win an MVP because you did something amazing, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose, sure. But two straight, I think, should be for the best player in the league. Three straight, I think, should be for a pantheon performer. And neither of those things, I believe, Jokic is. Going from that to another couple of former MVPs, why doesn't anybody want Lamar Jackson? Why? I feel like this is getting past the he's too expensive thing and more like a something else. I don't know. This seems peculiar.
I can't. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't think it does. I can't say it's more than it's too expensive. It is solely a too expensive thing because you're talking about. So who else has $200 million guaranteed?
I'm not
guaranteed.
I don't know. Who else has a $200 million guaranteed contract? Is what you're asking?
Yes.
What other player? I don't believe there is one. I don't know. I don't know.
I think Patrick Mahomes probably does.
Patrick Mahomes probably does, but it's over 10 years, and so it's a very financially,
Kyler Murray
smart thing.
Kyler Murray might have made him do that. I can't remember. His contract is crazy. I don't know what it is, but I know
Kyler Murray's contract and Russell Wilson's contract, I believe, are around the same thing. $160 million guaranteed for Kyler Murray.
Okay.
I think around 180 for Russell Wilson. He's over 7 years, total of $296 million.
For Russ?
For Russ, yeah.
Okay. All right.
165
Let me break this down to you, man. I'll be honest with you. Lamar Jackson is not worth $200 million guaranteed. He is not. In no market ever is Lamar Jackson worth $200 million guaranteed. He's just not.
Now, is Deshaun Watson worth that?
Yep.
Because somebody gave it to him.
No, because he is. He's a better quarterback. Now, here's the thing. If you want to say because of all the off the field stuff, I think Deshaun Watson has over $200 million guaranteed.
No, Deshaun Watson is the reason why Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten paid yet. That is the other than the Ravens' procrastination.
So he has like 230 guaranteed, doesn't he?
Yes, Deshaun Watson's entire contract is guaranteed, and I believe it's upwards of $200 million. And the thing is, Lamar Jackson says, "I want that." The Ravens are like, "No, we're not giving."
He's not Deshaun Watson, bro.
That's not it. That's not it because nobody's getting that. Nobody's getting that. Maybe Joe Burrow, maybe Justin Herbert will get that.
I promise
maybe
they'll get it.
But the thing is, and Justin Herbert does not deserve that over Lamar Jackson. The thing is that Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Broncos, pissed all the owners off, and they're like, "Why are you giving this guy his entire contract?" Because if Lamar Jackson gets this contract, if Lamar Jackson gets the contract that he wants, this will break the market. Because $200 million guaranteed, $230 million guaranteed is not the market. That is not the going rate. And Deshaun Watson got that for whatever reason. And even if you believe Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson is, I don't believe that anyone.
Do you?
No, I don't. No,
Why?
I don't. I believe Lamar Jackson is 5 years. In 5 years, your team will be better off with Lamar Jackson than Deshaun Watson.
How?
The next 5 years. Because look at what he's done. Lamar Jackson won. If you build your offense and you put Lamar Jackson is a 75% win percentage quarterback. Deshaun Watson has played very well. But Deshaun Watson became a Pro Bowl quarterback, and his team went 4-12. Lamar Jackson, there's no way Lamar Jackson plays well and you're not winning. That's just the thing.
A franchise that's won 2 Super Bowls in the last 25 years.
Has Lamar Jackson had an offensive player better than DeAndre Hopkins in his career, or anywhere close?
Lamar Jackson.
No, he hasn't.
Played for the same coach his entire career. Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Has had a great
even if you believe it. Even if you believe it.
Lamar Jackson.
And Lamar Jackson MVP. Even if you believe it. Even if you believe Deshaun Watson's better. Do you believe Deshaun Watson is top 5 and Lamar is not top 10?
I think
they're both top 10. They're both top 10, and they both need their contracts.
But they're top 10.
They're both top 10, and they both need their contracts. Okay, period. They are of similar age. Lamar Jackson's a little bit younger. Lamar Jackson's a hell of a lot more reliable. Even with all the Deshaun Watson before December hadn't played since the Trump administration. Anyway,
that's because he literally was suspended.
Okay, yeah, we're talking my language now. The thing is, even if you believe all of that stuff, Deshaun Watson, as far as an investment, is no way, no how as sound as Lamar Jackson is. This investment. Deshaun Watson hadn't played. First of all, Deshaun Watson did not look good. Did you see him play? He did not look good.
He hadn't played football in a year and a half, bro.
Okay, you think people just come back from that and straighten out? Everybody's Michael Vick. All right, giving Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed when he hasn't played in 18 months was a very, very risky thing. Just like giving Lamar Jackson whatever he asked for would be a very,
not only that,
very
he went
risky
back
thing.
to the Browns.
What?
The Browns.
That's what I'm saying. The Browns did something that was incredibly ill-advised. And not giving him a contract, but giving him a fully guaranteed $230 million contract so that Lamar Jackson can say, I want that. I can come to the Ravens and say, I'm better than Deshaun Watson. I won an MVP. I've done things for your franchise that no other player in your franchise has done. And if he does that, that gives the whole market changes in that space. They're just kicking the can right now.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. All those things that we said, MVP, great franchise. I would like to see. So, how long has Lamar been in the league?
1, 2, 3, 4. He just finished his 5th year.
So he's going to the 6th year.
Mm-hmm.
How many? When was he drafted?
He was drafted in 2018 in the first round.
First round. How many playoff games did the Ravens win between 2013 and 2018?
Zero or one.
0. So between 2013,
they won the Super Bowl They won the Super Bowl in February 2013.
And they did. They were trash. Just look at Lamar.
That's not. Let me look. 2014, they played in a divisional round, so they won one that year. 2015, the Ravens played.
I have a hard time believing the Ravens won one playoff game between 2013 and 2018.
Let me look at this.
I just have a hard. They just not that kind of team.
Regardless, they didn't do.
I'm not saying they did amazing.
They didn't do very much of it.
I'm not saying they did amazing at all.
Right. But continue.
Lamar Jackson won one playoff game in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ravens are a type of franchise, type of team that plays home playoff games a lot. Matter of fact, I'm not sure how many times the Ravens missed the playoffs since they drafted Lamar.
That last year when he got hurt for the last 8 years.
Of course, that he played. And so in the 4 years.
In the 4 years, never.
And they only won one time, bro. I'm not saying he's not him. I'm not saying he's not top 10. I'm telling you right now, that factors in. That's a bargaining tool. It's not that he's not great. His style of play. He's not. You ask me who's better, him or Cam Newton? I'm taking Cam Newton.
I'm taking Cam Newton over Deshaun Watson as well.
Okay, that's fine. I'm taking Deshaun Watson over Lamar. And the only reason that is because I'm not sure if Lamar would be Lamar today if he didn't get drafted by the Ravens. If Lamar Jackson got drafted number 1 overall to whoever was number 1 overall that year, that wouldn't matter right now.
That would matter if this is my thing. Do you believe Lamar Jackson deserves to be paid?
Paid what?
Do you believe that Lamar Jackson deserves to be paid the going rate for quarterbacks?
I think
Russell Wilson,
Kyler
Murray, Deshaun Watson.
Not Deshaun Watson. I think whatever Kyler Murray made, he deserves that.
Okay. He's a way better player every top to bottom than Kyler Murray is. top to bottom. He's a much younger and way better player right now than Russell Wilson is.
Sure.
And he can make the argument. He can make the argument that Deshaun Watson does not deserve the contract that he deserves.
Everybody can.
Okay.
But that's
now the thing
that's like outside of football.
This is all outside of football. This is all prognostication. This is all prediction. This is all of that.
If we're talking about say that bull jump didn't happen, right? With
what the bull
Watson.
jump that was Deshaun Watson's contract.
No. I'm talking about off the field issues Deshaun Watson. Say that does not happen to him, and he has a normal. Get out of my rookie contract for the Texans, and I'm looking for a new team. This you talking about? He might
Deshaun Watson's deal with the Broncos was an extension. He had already signed his second contract.
Deshaun or Russell?
Deshaun Watson.
The deal with the Browns?
His deal with the Texans. He had already signed his contract with the Texans.
He wanted his deal restructured.
In 2017. No.
No, bro. He was coming off his rookie contract. Bro. He was coming off his rookie contract. You got to think this is back in 2020.
On September 5th, 2020. Deshaun Watson signed a 4-year, $177.5 million contract with $111 million in guarantees, keeping him under contract with the Texans until 2025. Deshaun Watson already got his money in 2020. This was the summer after Lamar Jackson's MVP year. This is the summer after Deshaun Watson wins his first playoff game with the Texans, and this is the summer before they go 4-12. If Lamar Jackson, there is nothing Lamar Jackson could have done to more deserve of all the quarterbacks that are in line to get contracts. Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, all those guys. Lamar Jackson is better, in my opinion, than all of but one of those guys. That's Joe Burrow. That's Joe Burrow. He and whether you think he's better, whether you think he's not. The thing is, when you come to your contract, the going rate, unless something unbelievable, unforeseeable outlier happens, you get paid the going rate most times, right? And Lamar Jackson not getting that going rate, when and there have been other black, it's not a black thing. I think that there is a fear that people have of Lamar Jackson's running style that I believe should not garner more trepidation than, say, a concussion history, say a off the field issue, say a full year of football missed. Especially at Lamar Jackson is not Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson is not Robert Griffin III. Lamar Jackson runs in a way that unilaterally contributes to winning football. And the fact that his team that he has won the most with has been, before Deshaun Watson got his thing, has procrastinated with Lamar's time, I think is malpractice on the part of the Ravens.
So let me get this straight. I think the Eagles, I think the Ravens should have paid him the going rate. Right? Whatever Kyler Murray was getting, whatever Russell was getting, whatever that case might have been. The fact of the matter is, bro, he wants $200 million guaranteed. And say you're right. Say I'm wrong. Say Deshaun Watson is not worth that. Neither is Lamar Jackson, bro. I'm just being honest. That's just my opinion. He's not. You know what I mean? I don't see him in a level different than Deshaun Watson. Talent-wise. I don't. Now, here's the thing. Yes, he had a crappy start back to his year with the Browns. They're crazy good. He's crazy good. And I anticipate him having a much better year this year. Deshaun Watson. I just do. Right? Because I think a lot of stuff, I think we undervalue, understate because here's the thing. Innocent or guilty. Right? And if he's guilty in playing with all this stuff, imagine that weight on his mind. And if he's innocent, imagine the trauma that he's, you know what I mean? Like that there's no way that his off-the-field issues did not creep in and affect him on the field. No way. Right? Innocent or guilty, it doesn't matter. It affect them probably the same. Right? And I'm not putting that's not what I'm here. I'm not talking about what innocent or guilty. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the effect it had on him as a player. It clearly did. I think as he grows to potentially be past it and get over it, get into a different situation. I think more and more he'll become better about getting back to himself, playing well. And if this was before that situation, be honest. Back when Deshaun Watson was the Texans last year, I guess that's 2019 maybe?
The last year he played with the Texans was 2020.
2020.
The first year after he signed his second contract.
Yeah. Running for his life the whole time. They were not a good football team then. They're not a good football team now. Like them going 4-12, they probably would have went 0-17 going for Deshaun Watson. I mean, they definitely would have. Like, it's just not. They just aren't a good football team. They weren't then. They aren't now. The Ravens before Lamar Jackson, whenever he retires after, they're just a good team. They don't have very many back down years. And so when you think about those things, it's hard. I truly, honestly think the Ravens, it's a pride thing. And the Ravens also know they won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, bro. They feel like they don't need him. Let's be honest. And if we're being honest, they don't. Not to win a Super Bowl, because he didn't win them a Super Bowl. They've already got two. And he had nothing to do with them. So I can't blame them for saying, bro, we're not paying you $200 million guaranteed. You can kick rocks. Like, you're great, but you're not the best player in our franchise. History. Like, you're a great player, MVP player, but that would be just like it was dumb for the Browns to do it. It would be even more dumb for them to do it. What he's asking for, you just said how much malpractice it was or not malpractice, but just reckless it was for the Browns to give that contract to Deshaun Watson. It'd be the same thing for the Ravens. You know what I mean? Because you say off the field issues, concussion, education, any quarterback would get hurt. For sure. It'll be one thing if in 4 years and with all the success Lamar had, they had been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, AFC Championship. Like,
would that have changed anything?
Yes.
Why?
Because it proves it has been clear that Lamar Jackson seemed to be in over his head in the playoffs.
As opposed to Justin Herbert?
We're not talking about Justin Herbert. I'm not talking about Justin Herbert.
As opposed to Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray
as opposed to Deshaun Watson.
So think about this. First off, Deshaun Watson has not had the team that he has had.
We're talking about what he looked like in the playoffs.
Justin Herbert's only been in the playoffs once.
What about Deshaun Watson?
I don't know how many times he's been in the playoffs. Probably once.
Okay.
Kyler Murray been in the playoffs once. Another difference between is what pick was Lamar? Late first round?
32, yeah.
Very, very, very late. Technically the best team in the league late. Technically. Kyler Murray was the number one pick. No, I'm not saying I'm not traded for that pick, but I'm saying that's a late ass pick.
No, sure.
And so, Justin Herbert was pick 9. Kyler Murray was pick 1. Like, you don't expect him to be like.
We're just talking about what they look like in the playoffs. You said he looked like he's in over his head in the playoffs
because they lost, and he did not play well.
Lamar Jackson had 500 total yards in their second playoff loss. The first loss, he was a rookie. He had 5 games under his belt. The second game that he played, they won. Then they went up to Josh Allen, and Lamar was not good. They have not played a playoff game since then. To say Jamar Jackson is in over his head in the playoffs
looked in
over his head in the playoffs. I believe is expecting Lamar Jackson to do something that no one but maybe Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, Andrew Luck do in their first few playoff games.
Joe Burrow. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, go look at his first few playoff games. Go look at those things.
Sure. Right? He played bad in his first ones. First one. Okay. I think the first time they got the playoffs with Josh, and I don't like Josh Allen. I'm not a Josh Allen guy. But yes, I mean he's played well in a lot of Josh. Like the one he had against Patrick Mahomes, he just wasn't on the field.
Yes.
Right, that one sucked. Now last year he just got beat by Joe Burrow. Right, and the first year
he looked terrible.
He looked terrible. How much money did he get?
Probably. He got paid last year.
I think he should get whatever Josh Allen did. I think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are the same value. Same, not same player. But the same league, the same tier.
Josh Allen's first playoff game was the one against Deshaun Watson, where they lost.
So Deshaun Watson won his first playoff series.
Won his first playoff game, yes he did.
Yeah, not series. What pick was Deshaun Watson?
I think like 15 or something like that. Because he got picked up Patrick Mahomes. Allen got 150 guaranteed to 2021.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the price of the brick goes up. Right? That's just Kyler
Did they
Murray
offer
got
him 160?
Huh?
Did they offer him 160?
Who?
Lamar.
Ravens?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson got 165. Like there is no. I don't even know if he's asking for what Deshaun Watson got, but Lamar Jackson is he's the guy up for a contract right now. He's been that guy for a couple of years, and if he doesn't get what he wants from the Ravens, I believe that somebody is going to, whether you want to say it's collusion, whether you want to say it's whatever the case may be, somebody is going to miss out, in my opinion, an all-time player. Before we get up out of here, the Panthers have the number 1 pick now. You've been very, very supportive and you talked a lot about Bryce Young, how much you were impressed by him for a long time. If we pick Bryce Young, is there what percent chance does he have of being the best quarterback we ever drafted?
In the draft?
Yes. No, the best quarterback the Panthers have ever drafted.
Oh, ever drafted. So what percent chance does he have of being the best quarterback the Carolina's ever drafted? If we draft him?
Because you believe there's a very good chance that he will reach his potential.
Yeah, I think if we draft him, the only thing that would inhibit him is not being able to stay healthy. If for whatever reason, his body just can't take it. I mean, his size is his size. But if he's as special as I think he is, and he's able to withstand or avoid, injury. I think we're talking legit top 5 quarterback in the NFL for the next 10, 15 years. I think he can definitely be the best player we've ever had in the Super Bowl. And it very well may be one of those situations where he wins Super Bowl within his rookie contract, and he may or may not ever win again. But his ability. So I was watching this guy. I don't know if he's new, but it's a guy that I just recently started seeing circling around like different areas. His last name is Jeremiah, I believe.
Daniel Jeremiah?
Maybe, I don't know. Talked about how Bill O'Brien and all them would like give Bryce how most quarterbacks in college. Right? When you go, you win a game, and then on Saturday or Sunday, you would get like the playbook or the film or the prep packet for next week. And how no. Saturday night, you would get the prep packet for the next week. And Monday morning, you were expected to
be locked in.
Whatever it was.
No,
like Sunday morning, they would like have everything digested and ready to go. Monday morning, done. You know what I mean? Or no. Monday, you were expected to. You weren't expected to try to digest it until Monday. So say you got it on Sunday, and Monday. You were going to digest it with the coaches. The coach is going to take you through it.
Yeah.
Right, on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Something like that. Right? And you have all week. Like Bryce would have it done like a day, 2 days before. And then he would tell you, he would walk you through it. That type of stuff. Like he is the smartest quarterback in this draft. He is the smartest quarterback probably in the last couple of drafts. He's not the biggest. He may not even be the most talented, but I'm pretty sure from what scouts are saying, he is the smartest quarterback from the last couple of drafts. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence's deal is. Like, apparently he's like Jesus, literally. I don't know. But he like that is the type of situation that if we can keep him healthy, his talent level is to the sky. Because I mean, his size in terms of his actual production is not going to be impacted. I think the only thing his size will help hinder him in is being able to be on the field. But my thing is, I would rather risk. Give it like C.J. Stroud. This is going to be 13 C.J. Strouds over the next 13 years, in my opinion. Like C.J. Stroud, 6'3", great quarterback, Ohio State, who was highly recruited, great. Didn't win anything in college. Like just 6'3", he's accurate, he can play. Now that could be wrong and be like literally Joe Montana. I have no idea. But I'm gonna go on the I'll be on the hook for saying that C.J. Stroud, I'm going to call it right now. His ceiling, Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz at his height, like sustainable, starting, Pro Bowl, quality quarterback. But I just don't see him turning the tide. Now, I could be wrong. I hope I am. Literally the best. You know, Bryce. I see Bryce, being all-time great. Like legit, like top 15, top 20, all time. Like legit. Top 5, perennial top 5, top 3 quarterback. Perennial. Because of how he studies, who he is. I was watching some other things. I always go back to my little thing about like the quarterbacks under 6 feet. And it's an incredibly small sample size. But those guys, if you are, the key is, if you are under 6 feet and you are good enough to where a team feels comfortable drafting you and starting you immediately. I didn't remember this or realize this, but Drew Brees didn't actually start for the Chargers until like a year and a half in. He was behind, funny enough, he was behind Doug Flutie. Right? Obviously, Russell Wilson started right away. Kyler Murray started right away. I'm telling you right now, if Bryce or CJ has a first 3 years similar to Kyler Murray, production-wise, I'm not talking about like all the bullshit. Production-wise, I don't see how we as fans can be mad. Like you telling me your first 3 years, two of them, meaning not the first year, but second and the third year Pro Bowler. We made the Pro Bowl in your third year, or your second year, which one it was. Like what? How can you possibly get mad at a number one pick? If that's the case. You see what I'm saying? Like any quarterback in anybody drafts, like if that's what you do, like you're a good pick. And so to suggest, like, and Kyler Murray all he does is play Call of Duty. He doesn't prepare at all. Right? Like, now talent-wise, you'd be hard to find. Like honestly, we talk about this stuff all the time. Best athletes in the history of the NFL, you're about to put Kyler Murray in. Simply because you think about what this guy actually can do with his body. It's all-time talented. Like, he was supposed to be a top 10 baseball pick. Not like get drafted in the MLB. Like, he's supposed to go to the athletics number 10 overall. Like, that's crazy. Because it's harder to get drafted in playing baseball than it is in football. It just is. And so, went number one overall. That's fucking crazy. Like, that's ridiculous. That's unheard of. And so, I think based off of his talent alone, he's been able to have success in the NFL. And I think Bryce Young has more talent throwing the football than he does, and he's committed. So I think he would be a better quarterback than Kyler. And then with us, we're a bad team for a quarterback. We have a quarterback? We're a playoff team. I'm going to be honest with you. So, especially with Darius Miles, the tight end dude, that we get, Adam Thielen or OBJ or something like that, DeAndre Hopkins, like, we're right there in the play. We might be the best team in the NFC South. Probably are. Definitely are. They're the best quarterback. Right? And so, I'll be honest, like, I got more time. I had a couple things. I don't know how you're looking, or your time, what you got going on. But outside of quarterbacks, I did have at least one more thing to talk to you about.
What's up?
Kendrick Lamar. Yeah.
Oh, snap. What are we talking about Kendrick Lamar about?
I don't know.
How good to Pimp a Butterfly is? How good to Pimp a Butterfly is 8 years later?
But okay. Let me rephrase that. It's not as good as everyone says it is. It is not all time good. It is. I can't say it's bad. But it's not even his best album. One. Two. I know a lot of albums that came out in that span that are better than that. It's not to me, in my opinion, it is not worth the critical acclaim it received. I will not say it's bad. I will not say it's not good. Right, like, and that's how I feel about Kendrick Lamar in general. Like, I'm not an idiot. I'm a big, huge proponent of if a lot of people love and connect with you when it comes to music, you're a good artist. It doesn't matter what I think. You know what I mean? Like, there's just certain things that you can't deny. Like, if you ask me, my top 10, dead or alive, best rappers all time, I have Kendrick at 10.
Why?
Because his skill as a rapper is incredible. I've heard him. He is a very skilled rapper. And his artistic ability has reached a level that's remarkable. He, to me, is more similar to Tupac than anything else. Because Tupac, in my opinion, is a better artist than he's a rapper. And I think Kendrick Lamar is the same thing. I think he's a very skilled rapper in one capacity. I think he's a very skilled rapper in terms of his technicality. So he's one of the few artists. Maybe I don't know if any artist has ever been this way. Right? Because usually one or the other. Eminem super technical. Tupac is super artistic. Kendrick Lamar is super technical and super artistic. See what I'm saying? But in my opinion, technicality is not. Not only is it not the only thing that matters in being a good rapper, but to me, it's not the most important. And even if you take a rapper like Drake, I think Drake overall is a better rapper. If you think about the different categories of which makes a good rapper, technicality, creation, flow, and flows. Delivery, bars. Right? Those four things to me are like the drivers. I think the only thing that Kendrick Lamar has over Drake is technicality, breath control, and the speed at which you can rap. It's Kendrick, bro. He does that as good as most people. You know who doesn't do that better than fucking Logic. But he's a better rapper than Logic. Why? His influence, his flows, those things that I'm talking about. But he also is not only technical. He's a better rapper. There's like niggas can rap fast. Niggas can have breath control. That in my opinion is the only thing he does better than Drake. I think Drake's flow is better. I think Drake's delivery is better. Drake has much better bars. And lyricism. In my opinion. And the most complete rapper of all time, in my opinion, is J. Cole. But when it comes to Kendrick, I find it fascinating that there's such a discrepancy in what I think and what other people think about him. It's crazy to me. And I guess that's why it's so. I never started feeling this way about Kendrick until people just shot him above everybody else. And I was like, I think that's where my fire comes from. I wouldn't care if niggas said he was third place. I'd be like, that nigga Kendrick hard. But it's because people say he's the best. I'm looking and seeing and trying to find. Okay, why is he the best? And I. If you put a gun to my head, I can't find it. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't see him being better than J. Cole or Drake. I just can't see it.
I won't refute your point, even though I don't necessarily agree with it. But I will make this point again. I made this point to you before. I think the reason why at the very top this is as potent a top three as any era in hip hop has had is because they are three guys that all do it differently and do it for different things. I believe for Drake, I think Drake does it to be remembered. Not over everything, but I think that he mostly wants people to remember his songs, his records, his impact, his influence. He wants to see him in other people across genres, across the world. And I think he wants to be remembered in the ilk of a Michael Jackson, like you hear him name drop the Beatles, you hear him name drop people. He wants to be remembered in the lore of art, history, music, consumption, popular culture. He wants to be remembered, or at least the ecosystem of Drake wants to be remembered. He's always there. We rarely have a chance to forget him. We don't want to, but we rarely have a chance to because he's so present. He's on social media all the time. He's always dropping. He's always featuring. He's always got his hand in different things. I think for J. Cole, he does it for his fans. I think he wants his fans to have a connection with him that is different from other artists. You always hear the crazy stories about, oh, I saw J. Cole at McDonald's and he bought my Happy Meal for my son that got cancer, and then he wrote a song about it right there, and it's on his album. His whole album is about that one Happy Meal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like J. Cole saved my. Yeah, I seen J. Cole. He saved my life. I'm sure when I go to Dreamville Fest, there's gonna be people crying in the crowd. Me included. Like. You hear about J. Cole, he made that song. He seen somebody make a J. Cole type beat and rap to it. Put it on album music. You know what I'm saying? Like just stuff like that. I think Kendrick Lamar ultimately does it for, now hear me, I think he does it for the culture. Not the rap culture, but I think he does it for black culture. I think he does it for the black culture to be widely garnered, widely critically acclaimed, widely respected. You think about the things that he evokes in his music. The thing about The Pimp a Butterfly that I think a lot of people liked is because it is very, very heavily anchored in older black subject matters, older black music styles, older black artists. He has a whole 10-minute interview with Tupac to end out the whole thing. You hear funk, you hear George Clinton, you hear Snoop Dogg. Like it sounds like a funkadelic track. Like that is Good Kid, Mad City. That like that's for the. He does it for his homies. He does it for his big homies. That's what he always taught. He does it for the people that came before him in a way that is creatively and sonically different from a lot of different people. And his big homies are a lot of different, you know, like you got your West Coast, but then you got your soul. Like King Kunta is basically a rendition of the Payback by James Brown. Like, and then you see him in his last album make something that is incredibly vulnerable and therapeutic and about trying to, like Charlamagne, I don't believe this, but he said that this is the most important hip hop album ever made because it's talking about black men, you know, going to therapy because you've been molested and you've been
It seems like it seems like pandering though. A lot of it seems like pandering.
Maybe it is. That's what maybe it is. But it's a very well executed pandering. Very well executed. You see what I'm saying? And I think that all three of those things, none of those things are more important than the other because they all are important. We need those people. Like you asked me if when Kendrick sold like 260 or something, or 250 or 230 first week, is that a flop? Because Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers were not received terribly well when it started out. Just like Pimp a Butterfly wasn't received terribly well when it started out. But I was like, no, it's not a flop because that's not what Kendrick Lamar does it for. He does it so that people can see this from a different perspective, maybe people that aren't in the black culture, and say that is something that I can see is important, especially for them, but it's maybe important for me. And I was like, if he doesn't win the Grammy for Best Rap Album. And the thing is, a lot of people like to say that Grammys aren't like important until they go to the people that they're supposed to go to, and then they're important. But whatever. I think whether you think the Grammys are important or not, they mean something when people win them. And Kendrick has won every time he drops the album. It's the album of the year. I do. I think the Grammys biasly support him more than they support a lot of other people. I do, but I don't believe that that's something just like the MVP thing. I don't believe that it's undeserving. It's not like there was somebody else that absolutely just should have won over him demonstrably. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's not that. I think they do it for three different things, and I think they're all, like I said, you know, a part of a landscape in a hip hop culture in the last 15 years that is stacks up against anything. Yeah, but I appreciate you, man, so much. I love you. Thank you for coming on here. I love talking to you. Is one of my favorite things in the world, and I appreciate you coming on and talking to me, bro.
No doubt, man. I feel exactly about you. I'm able to express a lot of different things. You're one of the few people that I can talk with, and them actually continue to keep talking to me. So,
hey, man, that's always going to be the case, bro. And I appreciate y'all for listening in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.